Days 7 and 8, the Great Smoky Mountains. So after Nashville, I continued my way east across the rest of the state of the Tennessee towards the Great Smoky Mountains, and you can really see them starting to slowly appear on the horizon. So before I got to the mountains, I made 2 stops. One, to see the UFO house in the hills overlooking Chattanooga, Tennessee. Nobody lives there now, but this looks really cool. I wish I could see the inside. And a little courthouse in Rhea County, Tennessee, where in the late 1920s, a high school teacher was put on trial because he taught evolution in violation of the recently passed Tennessee law that forbade it. The trial made a lot of noise in the press. Clarence Darrow defended the teacher, but unfortunately he was still convicted. So kind of goes to show you how things never should be taken for granted. Then I drove one of the most breathtakingly beautiful roads I've ever seen in my life, called the Cherrow-Halla Skyway. This is what it looks like from a drone. And down on the ground, it leads you through the mountains, through a riot of colors of fall foliage and the beautiful, breathtaking views of the valley into the Great Smoky Mountains. Now, I made up to meet for a night of camping in Nantahala National Forest with my friend Sharon from Georgia, and the place where I was going did not have cell phone reception. So by the time I made it to where the pin on the Google Maps was, it was already dark, and if Sharon hadn't gone out onto the road with a flashlight to signal me, I would have never found her. But she did, and I got there, and we had a great time in the evening by the campfire. And in the morning, I had an opportunity to see how beautiful the place was where we were camping. So we kind of had a slow start and some more talking and eating breakfast. And then we split up, each one to go on their separate ways and to fulfill other plans we had. A funny story, so we're camping across from what's called Joyce Kilmer Memorial Campground. And the whole night we're wondering who this lady Joyce Kilmer was that they named the whole campground in the National Forest after her. And then after we split, I pulled over in a place that finally had reception to finalize my plans for the day. And then Sharon pulls up next to me and she's like, "You're not gonna believe me. I went to check it out and Joyce Kilmer is not a she, it's a he." And it turns out it was some famous American poet that was famous for his poem about a tree. So my next thing to do was to drive the Tail of the Dragon Road, which is a stretch of Highway 129 between North Carolina and Tennessee. It's 11 miles and 320 curves. So the Tail of the Dragon officially starts at the Cho Dam in North Carolina, and that's where the movie The Fugitive with Harrison Ford was filmed, the famous scene where he's jumping off the dam. So you pull up into the little pocket above the dam. It's all boarded up. You can't even go in. But yes, you can, stop and take some pictures through the chain link fence. So that was kind of interesting. And then you just continue on the road, and pretty quickly you cross back into the state of Tennessee. And then you are just so in the flow of the curves. And it was totally, completely amazing. I would do it probably every day if I had a chance, especially, again, when it's fall foliage and the weather is a little bit cloudy with a little drizzle here and a little shine there. And it was just a surreal experience driving that road. But wow, it was like one of the dreams come true. And after finishing the loops of the Tail of the Dragon, Highway 129 brings you to the intersection with the Foothills Parkway, which is also a very beautiful road that goes along the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, but on the Tennessee side. So I drove it, again, enjoying the views. And this whole area is full of interesting and, of course, heartbreaking Native American history. It's the original home of the Mohicans and of the Cherokees. And as the white settlements expanded further west, they were pushed out of this area when the American government just decided to round up whatever was left of these tribes and relocate them forcibly out west to the prairies of the Midwest and march them along what's now known as the Trail of Tears, with tens of thousands dying along the way. So eventually I would like to come back to this area and dedicate a little more time to learning its history because, again, it's as heartbreaking as it's interesting. Thing I absolutely had to do in that area was to go check out the place called Top of the World, Tennessee. Yes, there is really a small township called Top of the World, and it sits on what feels like top of the world. The problem is the road coming down from it, especially when you have oncoming traffic. But anyway, so that was the completion of my day and a half in the Smokies. And then I just took the interstate, this time for a change, out east. Again, crossing the mountains, but this time on a big road. And it was amazing because on the Tennessee side, on the west side, it was all gloomy and cloudy with the rain coming down. And then on the North Carolina side, it was all sunny. And that was pretty much the end of a day with a lot of driving. And I banked for the night not far from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, so that I can be close to my adventures planned for the next day.